Hey, this is Lee Nevis, host of CJ and Cell. Thanks for listening to the following podcast on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies till all my fears have gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. Welcome to Choose to Rise. Welcome to Public House Media. I am so honored and blessed that you have decided to join me this morning and that you're still with me after that little bit of music. This song has been such a staple in my heart lately and in my mind. And after listening to it recently, I was like, oh my goodness, I have to talk about fear. I have to talk about overcoming fear. I have to talk about being a part of fear, being a part of our lives and overcoming it in some sort of way. So not only did that song strike a chord in me that helped me know that I needed to do something a little different with it, but also the song Fear is a Liar also touches my heart. When he told you you're not good enough, when he told you you're not right, when he told you you're not strong enough to put up a good fight, when he told you you're not worthy, when he told you you're not loved, when he told you you're not beautiful, that you'll never be enough. Fear is a liar. He will take your breath, stop you in your steps. He is a liar. He will rob your rest, steal your happiness, cast your fears in the fire, because fear is a liar. And I want you today to completely understand those words. I want you today to take honor in the fact that you are made for so much more than what you give yourself credit for. And that when you understand that when we all have fears, we all have things that are going to be a part of our life, but fear and faith cannot live in the same space. So if we want to be able to fill our hearts and minds with the good things, with the positive things in our journey, we need to be able to take advantage of and learn about how to minimize fear, put fear in the back seat and not the driver's seat of our lives, and to really take forward and move on with faith in our lives, with faith that things are going to move on better because of God is in our life, and move in faith because we know that we have everything that we need in our lives to move forward in the way He created us to move forward. So why is it so difficult to let go of our fears? How much easier would life be if we just dared to go ahead and we would not worry about everything? So much easier, right? But instead, so many of us carry this massive baggage, all of this weight on our shoulders because of fear of something that's probably not even going to happen. Did you know that like 90% of fears that we have, the worries that come into our head on a daily basis, have zero basis of actually happening in our life? I know it's super difficult to kind of think about that, but when you really reflect on the things that have been happening in your life, or reflect on the things that have been holding you back, or the reasons why you say that you can't do something, most of those things are the things that are really never going to happen. And they have zero fact or zero foundation to them. So when you start noticing that fears don't belong in your life, that these things are the things that are actually holding you back, you can start eliminating them from your life. Don't let the fear slow you down. And today I want to help you move forward in a way that's going to help you get past those things. So we're going to give you 4 or 5 little tips and little tricks to get rid of fear, and maybe not even eliminating fear, because fear is always going to be there in life. We can't be naive to the fact that fear isn't always going to be there. We're human. We have a fight or flight kind of stance to ourselves. It's just an innate part of us. But learning how to control that fear, learning how to engage in something new, and put fear in the back seat and not the front seat of our lives. Now, the first one I have for you is write down your fears. If you have the courage to write them down, you're already halfway there. Lots of fears are just eating us up inside. When they're inside of us, they're just manifesting themselves and they're creating more of themselves. But if you can get them out of you, like write them down on a piece of paper, take them from being in a hidden space into a open and exposed place. And when we can expose them, when we can really focus on how they're not actually true and really be exposed in that sort of way, fear won't be able to hold you back. Fear won't be able to eat at you from the inside, and you will be able to change your belief system because you now know that those fears are not really directly related to your future going forward. The second one I have for you is to go into detail. So once you've written down that fear, once you've written down that, like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not ever going to be able to accomplish that, or I'm not strong enough to get through this, I'm not worthy enough to do that, I don't have the skills, I don't have the money. When you write down those fears and get rid of them, now you can go into detail. Write down the main areas of your life and make a list of all your blockages. This task will help you dig even deeper into your fears. I know you still say this task isn't for you, but if you follow these simple steps, you will soon realize that it's only your ego tricking you. It's only that little crappy thing called fear that's blocking you in the way. And it's your job, it's your job to make sure you're eliminating those blocks. It's your job to find out what it is in your career, in your relationships, in your life that are the things that are holding you back. And think about those reasons and then really work on changing them up. So don't just camp in the past. You can't just hang out here in how life was or what happened in the past of life. You have to be able to move forward in a way. And if you're going to move forward in that direction, you have to be able to let go of some of the things that are happened in the past. The third thing is you're going to analyze. So now you've identified them, you've written them down, you've dug a little deeper, gone a little farther into the thing, you've gotten super detailed, and now you're going to analyze them. All right. What are those lists? Now that you have that list of fear in front of you, deal with them one by one. Why are you afraid of it? What is actually going to happen? What's a worst case scenario? If you don't succeed, is it really a failure, or is it something that you can learn from and you can use to guide yourself going forward in the future? What kind of image do you have of failure? Are you looking at it as a learning experience, or are you looking at something as a roadblock in the rest of your life? How were you treated in the past when you failed on something? The attitude and experiences you associate with the specific events are super important on figuring out how you can move around them or move past them when you go forward in your future. If it's the case that you had super negative experience when you failed, when you didn't achieve a certain thing, that's probably what's holding you back in some sort of way. Reframe what you think a failure is. I know when I did this for myself personally, it was a huge change in my life. In fact, I've completely reframed how I think of failure for myself. I talk about failure differently around my children. I talk about failure differently around other people, because failure should not be a stopping point. Failure is a learning opportunity for you to change something up and move forward in a better way after that. So when you've been in a competition when you were younger, or maybe when you were at a job and somebody criticized you for not doing something, or you felt the need that you made mistakes and that you should just never try it again, or maybe you had some other experience with failure, I want you to rewrite those stories in your head and think about failure as a good thing. Think about failure as the next step to creating a positive change in your life. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And if you really think about it, nobody is amazingly good at anything that they start, right? So if you are looking at getting better at something, understand that you're going to have setbacks along the way. You're going to have issues. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to have problems that are going to not allow you to do it the best the first time. I heard this in a podcast the other day. Imagine if you were a toddler, or we had toddlers in our homes. Many of you maybe do. But imagine if you heard a toddler when they fell down the first time, or the second time, or the third time, or even the 10th time, falling down after learning how to walk, or learning how to ride a bike if you're a little older, or anything that they're trying for the first time. What if we heard those toddlers say, "Oh, I'm so bad at this, I'm never going to try again." Or, "Oh, I'll never be able to walk because I fell down now." Or, "I'm just never going to be good at this. I think I'll stop trying." What if we heard little kids saying those things early on in life? We'd probably say, dude, get up, keep going. We'd encourage them, right? So why do we do it for ourselves? No one's perfect at something the first time. No one's great at something the first time. So you have to have some failure in life. You have to have some mistakes in life. You have to have the negative things happen so that you can move forward and find the positive way, the good things that are going to happen in your life. The fourth tip I have for you is to change your viewpoint. Face them. Now that you've elaborated on the exact causes of your fears, you've thought about, is this fear realistic? And you kind of thought through what will happen if you fail. Nothing, right? So if you don't even try, you will think about what it is for the rest of your life. The what ifs. I wouldn't kind of wish that life on anyone. The should-haves, could-haves. If you've been should-have on, you know that it doesn't feel good. And so if you're always living in the what if land, I encourage you to come back to reality over here and really focus on thinking more about the dreaming land. And what if you didn't stop yourself with fear? What if you moved forward anyway and got through it and tried something different and learned something new and figured out how you could make it through to the other side instead of what if of staying over here and never really trying? Once your attitude has changed, your next step is to face that fear. Write down the opinion of what you think, why you're maybe not good enough. Write down the reasons of why you think you're not there, and then change that opinion and change your attitude and get going after it. Action is the next step. So instead of really focusing on, now that you've changed your viewpoint and you've written down and you've gotten very specific and really figured out what happens if this does or does not happen, now it's time for you to take action. Get moving forward. Do something. See if it works. See if it doesn't. And then keep going. If that doesn't work, try something else. Tip number 5 is have an action plan. Have a plan B. Know that plan A may not work, but guess what? There's 26 letters in the alphabet for a reason, right? Keep moving, keep trying, keep learning, and keep growing and keep going. Don't let fear stop you. You are no longer a slave. You do not have to be a slave to fear. Fear is a liar. Don't listen and keep moving forward. I hope this morning that something I've shared with you today has spoken to you, has helped you, has encouraged you. Maybe it was my singing, probably not. But if you are ever interested in learning more about how you can join something here at Choose to Rise, I would love to support you and encourage you. Thank you so very much for joining me this morning. And I hope that you are learning something new here every day. You're rising up out of your current struggles of living your best life, and that you feel so encouraged by being a part of this. So thank you for pushing play. Thank you for sharing with a friend, telling a neighbor, telling a coworker, telling a family member about Choose to Rise. It helps so much spread the message. And it's just a cool thing to see people sharing on social media and sharing everywhere they go with who Choose to Rise is for and what it's about. And I also have a special little thing today. I have exciting news, actually. I'm officially launching my life coaching opportunities, and I would love for you to be a part of that as well. So if you love the podcast, come join me one-on-one. Let's talk about how we can work together, how you can get a part of being a mentee of mine, an individual one-on-one session, and you can learn more and you can register for life coaching sessions by going to choosetoriseUp.com/daily motivation. So I look forward to seeing you there and hearing from you and getting to know you a little bit more and being a part of this. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I hope to see you back here again very soon.